So you're about to start mixing and mastering, and you're not really sure, it's not really sounding like the songs that you like to listen to. So you look up some YouTube videos, you look up some articles and stuff like that, try to get a little bit more information. But no matter how hard you try, some people are saying that you should be using this mastering chain, or some people saying that you should be using this way of doing things. And I mean, they're all kind of right in their own way, but mixing and mastering is probably as ambiguous as everything else in the music industry. It's just, it depends on the situation. There is no one size fits all. So today I'm gonna go over some suggestions that I have for you to look at when you're actually trying to mix and then master. And I would say one is way more important than the other, but I'll get into that right now. So let's go. So we're mixing and mastering, and you're looking for some tips to so how you can do this properly and how you can, at least learn. And that's, I think, the biggest step in this. I wouldn't say that my mixing and mastering is at all near good enough, but I do have some rules of thumb when I am mixing and when I am mastering that I do follow and that can help. And they're not really, none of these rules are going to be hard rules, but they're more of just suggestions to look at in the mixing process. So I would strongly suggest mixing as you go, or if you don't feel comfortable mixing as you go, because that might be a little bit too intimidating. Once you finish your idea, once you have it all arranged out and composed, if you're looking for arrangement tips, I got a little video in the annotation right here, is once you get all your idea and it's arranged out and you know that this is like very close to the final product, I would say do a fader down mix. And depending on your genre, make sure you note what are the most important aspects of that genre. We would have covered this in the referencing part of mixing and mastering. And I'm gonna put this again here. Make sure you reference all of your songs, that you have 2 or 3 songs that you're referencing. There's a really cool plugin that I use all the time. It's called Adapter AB, where you can put in other people's songs and then you can reference them. But I'll save that tip for after. Oh my God, yeah, so tip number 1 is a fader down mix. So moving on to tip number 2, mixing is dramatically more important than mastering. In my opinion, I think for mastering, all you should be doing is making it loud and maybe controlling some of the dynamics. Even controlling some of the dynamics would be, I think, a little bit too much in most mastering situations. Maybe just 2 limiters, 1 up, and then you give yourself some overhead, like negative 0.5 or 0.5 with some headroom and stuff like that, and then just very loud. Because I mean, in reality, every step after you start mixing should be very, very small increments after that. Like, in my opinion, it should be small moves. Like, everything should be done at the mixing, and mastering is just about making your track loud. Besides that, I don't think you should be doing anything else at the very, very end of your track, because in reality, all the important things happen in the mixing stage. I would say keep that in mind when you're about to master. Okay, moving on to the next one. And I would say is very, very important, like I mentioned in tip number 2, is reference. Reference all of your tracks, because, well, I'll go into it. So the program that I use, Adapter AB, allows you to put in, for example, if I have a track and I think dynamically it sounds like San Holo or Porter Robinson, I'll grab some of their tracks that I think sound similar, put it in there, and then I can see the dynamics, how loud it is, and a bunch of other things that might help me make decisions when I'm mixing. Okay, I think, like we were saying in the other one, tip number 2, okay, the kick is very predominant in this mix. So, okay, when I'm doing my fader down mix, I'm gonna make sure my kick is anchored, my snare is anchored, my percussion is all popping, because this is electronic music. And then, okay, maybe have a vocal. Okay, so I want my vocal to be up there as well. And then you get those 3 main elements, and then after that, you start bringing up the volumes of everything else. And I think mixing, there's a lot of cutting out frequencies and making sure that there's not too many resonant frequencies and stuff like that. But also mixing, and this is something I learned with Cosmic, is volume. It's volume, right? If you have too many competing volumes, then everything just sounds like a wall of sound, and that's not what we're looking for. Or maybe that is what you're looking for. That's what I said. Like, all these are just suggestions. But so yeah, guys, those are my 3 favorite tips for mixing and mastering. I'll put some links to some videos that I looked up when I was doing this kind of stuff, and still now that I use, that are pretty helpful. I'll also link Cosmic Academy. They have a whole bunch of tips on their Instagram for mixing and mastering as well. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will catch you for the next one. Peace.